Water is 150, electricity is 150, so now you're at 300, and gas for 200. And now you're at looking at a total of 500, right? That would be your utility cap of 500. Before you decide to include utilities in your midterm rental or not, please do this. My name is Ruben Ka. I'm a temporary housing specialist where we help investors nationwide land the most profits, turning your quarterly rental income into your monthly income by specifically working with other businesses, specifically with a niche in insurance housing. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you do one thing is how you do everything and how everything matters. And this conversation around utilities is one that if you don't do it the right way, can come bite you in the bottom. All right, so let's talk about it. Should you even include utilities? I mean, utilities are a variable expense that, if not well controlled, can quickly turn into a nice feature, turned into a disaster for you as an operator. So should you even consider doing it? And is it worth disconnecting the services and giving it to the tenant? Well, first I would say it depends for how long, right? As we know, midterm rental can be anywhere from 30-day plus. 30-day plus could be 9 months, could be 10 months, could be 12, could be 3, could be 4, could be 5, could be 6. So where do you land? Well, here's a rule of thumb. My rule of thumb, at least, that we always include utilities with a caveat. Now, what is that caveat? It's also, of course, we want to make our lives easy. That's why we got into the midterm rental space. And specifically, we want to make our lives lucrative and profitable. And that's why we got into the midterm rentals B2B side of the house, not to be confused with the B2C, which is business consumer. We do the business to business by working with the most lucrative businesses that pay the most and also provide us repeat business. And therefore, we focus on the relationship building side of it. But there's still a consumer on the other side, and that's the tenant that they're actually relocating on their behalf. And that tenant may be well disciplined with utilities or may not. And if they're not, they can burn a hole in your pocket. So what should you do? There is a specific way that you can protect yourself. If you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video. We always like to keep it on with a caveat. So what is this caveat, Ruben? Get to it. I want to know. And that is the most overlooked thing that I don't ever see, even on Furnished Finder, when I see people and they're putting in their fees, etc., and they miss out on this. And this is, if this is you, you're going to want to get a load of it. And that is making sure you have a utility cap. What does that mean? The utility cap means that you, as an operator, have done your due diligence and have looked at the average amount that your utilities is. So let's say water is 150, electricity is 150, so now you're at 300, and gas for 200. And now you're at looking at a total of 500, right? That would be your utility cap of 500, where now you're putting a clause that says, should you exceed the utility cap, you will have to pay the difference outside of pocket. Now, how do you do this? There's 3 things that you factor in. A contract must be in place. B, you must include that in your contract. Number 3 is that you must have a security deposit that will allow you to pull from that security deposit. And it doesn't have to be crazy. It could be 1,000, right? I like 1,000. It's a nice sweet spot. Doesn't overstretch the person, but puts enough skin in the game for them to be conscientious of the fact that, hey, I do have $1,000 on the line here. Now, anytime they exceed that utility cap of 500, let's say it's $676, you would take 176 subtracted from their security that they won't get at the end. And you can do that over time again. And most importantly, it also allows you to have a touch point with them and say, hey, by the way, I just want you to know, like, utility's gone up, like, is everything okay? Like, or not is everything okay, but you just a reminder, like, if you're not in the home, to turn off the lights, to turn down the AC when you're not in the room, etc. You know, you're giving them kind of guidance to be more efficient in their use. And with that heads up, again, you're not tricking anybody. If they're overlooking that, there is going to be some consequences, and it's going to have to come out of their security, their pocket, not your pocket, because it's nice enough that you've offered utilities included. The last thing you want to do is someone to actually take advantage of you, or simply just are coming from a different lifestyle and they just leave all on the lights. They taking 1 hour to 2 hour showers. That should not be on your dollar. That should be on theirs. And then you should also have a clause as a caveat that should the utility cap exceed what's the security deposit, they will still owe you that outside of pocket as well. Okay. So again, should you include it? That's up to you. I like it because it keeps things simple for me and I can just factor it into the payment and make sure that there's a utility cap. But if you are going to do it, make sure that you put a caveat to it, which is often overlooked by having a utility cap stated by dollar amount per month. Do not make the mistake of saying a utility cap of 500. It's going to bite you in the butt. You are going to want to have one per month so that there's a monthly tracker, right? If your water comes out quarterly or whatever, obviously do the math there. But if most vendors are charging monthly, make sure that that's baked into your contract so that you are not coming out of pocket and you instead keep more in your pocket. Not what I talked about, keeping more in your pocket. Isn't that why you're here? If you are, hit that subscribe button if you found that to be valuable. I'll see you on the next video. If you got value from this video, make sure you check out the how to cap utility costs in midterm rentals and avoid overages interview.